You know, when you think vampire, what pops into your head? A dark cloak, maybe some piercing eyes, a spooky castle on a hill? Well, that whole image, the one that's basically burned into our brains, all comes from one place: Bram Stoker's incredible 1897 novel, Dracula.
I mean, this book wasn't just some scary story. It literally invented the vampire as we know it today. And the way Stoker tells it is so cool. It's all done through letters and diary entries and newspaper articles. It makes you feel like you're the detective, piecing together this terrifying puzzle yourself.
But what is it about this story that still gets under our skin more than a century later? Well, it's way more than just fangs and castles. The novel is an absolute masterclass in building suspense. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to deconstruct this epic battle of good versus evil and see exactly what makes it tick.
Okay, so here's our roadmap. We'll start with that eerie introduction, see how the conflict really kicks off, follow the rising action all the way to its insane climax, and then cover the final hunt and what it all means in the end. Let's do it.
All right, first up, the intro. Every great horror story needs to set the mood, right? And Dracula's opening is just perfect. It's all about one man's journey into a land where all our modern, rational rules just seem to melt away.
So, meet Jonathan Harker. He's this young English lawyer who thinks he's just on a regular business trip. But the closer he gets to this remote castle, the weirder things get. The locals are terrified for him. They're pressing crucifixes into his hands, whispering warnings. He has no idea what he's walking into, but you can feel that something is deeply, deeply wrong.
And then he meets the man himself, Count Dracula. His welcome is so polite, almost ridiculously so. But there's something off about it. It's all very welcome to my home, but Harker quickly figures out the hospitality is a sham. The doors lock behind him. He's not a guest, he's a prisoner.
Okay, so the stage is set. Now we need our heroes, right? Enter the crew of light. And this isn't your typical team. You've got Harker, the lawyer, his super smart fiancée Mina, her best friend Lucy, and a few guys who are all in love with Lucy. But the real key player here is Professor Abraham van Helsing. He's this amazing Dutch doctor who's part scientist, part mystic. He knows that to fight something this ancient, you need a lot more than just modern medicine. You need faith.
And who are they up against? Well, there's the enemy.
And Dracula is not just some guy in a cape. He's something else, an ancient evil, a warlord from a time long forgotten. He's got superhuman strength, he's incredibly smart, and he can control things like wolves and bats. He is the darkness they're about to go up against.
Okay, so now we get to the part where things really kick off. The horror that was trapped in that remote castle, it's about to break out and head straight for London, the biggest, most modern city in the world at the time.
So while poor Harker is still trapped, Dracula is already on the move. He travels to England on this ship, and get this, it arrives completely wrecked with no living crew. The captain's dead at the helm, and the only thing on board? 50 big, mysterious boxes of dirt from Transylvania. Yeah, it's ominous. The monster is officially in London.
And this is where everything escalates. Dracula isn't some far-off boogeyman anymore. He's in their city, he's hunting, and our crew of light is about to realize this isn't just some mystery, it's a fight for their very lives.
So how does Dracula make his presence known? He doesn't go for a stranger. He goes right for the heart of their group, Lucy Westenra. She's Mina's best friend, just full of life. But then she starts sleepwalking, getting sick, and she has these two tiny little marks on her neck. Her friends, these guys who love her, they literally give her their own blood and transfusions to try and save her. But it's no use. She dies. But she doesn't stay dead.
This is where Van Helsing has to drop the bombshell. He tells them this isn't a disease that science can explain. This is something else entirely. Lucy has become one of the undead, a vampire. And worse, she started preying on local children. It's an absolute nightmare.
So they're faced with this horrible, horrible choice. To save Lucy's soul, they have to destroy her body. And the person who has to do it is Arthur, the man she was going to marry. Can you even imagine? It's this awful, brutal act of mercy. And that moment, right there, changes everything. They're not just friends anymore. They're vampire hunters. And they have one mission: find Dracula and end him.
And boom, here we are at the climax, the turning point of the whole story. Just when our heroes think they're taking the fight to Dracula, he turns the tables. The monster starts hunting the hunters, and it gets personal, fast. The crew is doing everything right, you know? They're using their brains, putting all their notes and diaries together to figure out Dracula's next move. It's very modern, very methodical. But Dracula, he's playing a different game. He knows exactly where to hit them to hurt them the most. He doesn't just attack them physically, he goes after Mina Harker, the very heart and soul of their group. And just like that, everything changes. The mission isn't about revenge for Lucy anymore. Now it's a frantic, desperate race against time to save Mina from the same fate, to save her soul before it's too late. The stakes could not possibly be higher.
This kicks off the final hunt. They've actually managed to run Dracula out of London, so now the tables have turned again. The crew goes from being the hunted to the hunters, chasing him all the way back across Europe. They are not letting him get away.
But how do you hunt something like Dracula? You find his weakness, and they figure it out. Remember those 50 boxes of dirt? Well, they're not just souvenirs, they are his sanctuary. He needs his home soil to rest in during the day. Without it, he's vulnerable.
So what do? They launch this brilliant strategy. They go to all of his hideouts in London and sterilize the boxes of dirt with holy items, leaving him nowhere safe to rest. He's forced to grab his last box and make a run for it back to Transylvania. And the crew splits up, chasing him by land and river, trying to cut him off before he makes it back to the safety of his castle. It's an all-out chase across the continent.
Which brings us to the end, the final showdown. After this incredible chase across Europe, all the teams converge on Dracula's location at the exact same moment. We're talking seconds before sunset, right when he's about to regain all his terrifying power.
And in that last sliver of sunlight, they attack. Jonathan Harker slashes his throat with a huge knife, and at the same time, Quincy Moores plunges his Bowie knife right into the Count's heart. And just like that, the centuries-old evil crumbles into dust. The curse on Mina is broken. It's finally over.
So you see, Dracula is so much more than just a spooky vampire story. It's this incredible clash of ideas. It's the modern world, with its science and its teamwork, going up against this ancient singular evil. It's about faith versus darkness. And I guess the real question, the one that keeps us coming back to this story over 100 years later is, why? What is it about this fight that makes Dracula himself truly immortal?